It is crushed up like calcite and different rocks that have been bonded together with something, and that something could be blood. A lot of blood sacrifice occurred in these areas. We know that they were using the blood to appease the gods. Well, these pieces depict gods all over them, and they're the lesser gods that are known to in Egypt and Mesopotamia, and as well as to the Mayans and the Aztecs and so on. It's a convergence of all of this, including even Indian avatars and relations to Shiva and Shakti. So it's really a collage of things, which takes me to the story of Babel and the fall of Babel, that maybe this was the setback, because clearly with these megalithic sites, we went backwards at some point in terms of how we were able to construct things and what we knew, um, versus what we know now, or what we can pull off, right? So
Right, exactly. Can that piece be dated? Is it
absolutely,
possible?
it has been dated 30,
Okay, so
or
what
actually
was it dated to?
43,000 years old. Yeah. Yeah, we
So
we we
and so how so you have to explain it, right? How are we dating this in 43,000 years?
and normally you
You
can't
think
date
that
rock.
material is the resin?
It's the bonder. So if they used blood to bind this stuff together, or that was one of the ingredients, maybe they used gums and different other organic ingredients. But yeah, that was the binder to keep this together. So they crushed stone, maybe heated it up somehow. It was an alchemical reaction, it seems like, because there's rapid cooling or rapid bubbling on the surface, which is similar to what you would find when you put a part A and a part B resin. If you were to make a resin table or something, you pour these two things together, they generate heat and bubble on the surface. That's why you got to have them, with special, mats underneath or whatever to keep everything chemically correct. And so this is just a form of alchemy we believe that they knew of, that was able to create this stone.
And who's date so can you tell everybody, I think you're having this dated at universities, correct?
Yeah, University of Georgia has done a primarily, well, I would say like 75% of the dates. Arizona as well, and Saran Laboratories, Cotella Laboratories, and I'm missing one in there.
And you were privately financing the excavation at one of these sites, is that correct?
Yeah, I've donated money to the families that own land so they can fund expeditions to go dig. I don't personally dig, and I don't fund them to do that. I'm donating money to them, and then that's what they do essentially with it, or whatever. They fund their family so they can continue to own that land, I guess, really more than anything, because it's already their land. It's private land that's being dug on in almost all the cases. There are other rogue people who will go out there and dig on the archaeological land and record it and send it to us, trying to be like those guys that own the land. And it's not something that we encourage. There's been a couple of them that I've posted because it shows clearly the pyramid right in the back, with these pieces coming out with the Boga chip on there and things like that's really relevant to me. I mean, believe it or not, but I think it's really important that we know that that's a potential, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. You mentioned the bogey here, and I want to get to one of the skulls that shares a little bit of that same symbology on the bogosphere, because
Yeah.
that's I interviewed Jaime Maussan this past summer about the bogosphere, and
Awesome.
yeah, and it's interesting because I think that the University of Georgia came back in the last month or two with the same sort of readings from the resident inside.
Right.
You were able to get some readings from that, and they dated that one, I think, 11,600
There's
something.
12,006, I think. Yeah.
Well, Galvin said, yeah. So there you go. I mean, if you ask Dr. Stephen Greer, I mean, if he says they're already there, they think this is an authentic thing that was what was going on in those videos, flying on its own, using some sort of static electro
Yep.
minute thing to reduce the mass to have this thing fly. Um,
Yep.
and here you go, you finding things in Mexico that have the same sort of symbology on that. So I want to get to that in a second. Um, I want to pull up one of these other crystal skulls. This one is absolutely beautiful. Can you tell to us a little bit about this one?